I actually have two questions for you regarding the whole thing you just said with Australia and Counter-Strike. The first one is, how is it actually as living so far away and
on another planet,
with all due respect, being pretty shit at Counter-Strike for so long, traveling so far all the time and being eliminated in last, and then going back.
It was because you want to you want to take that step up, right? Like when you're playing at home and you're dominating the competition, you want to get an opportunity to play against the best teams in the world.
Yeah.
So when you would go there, you were giving it your all, and whether it happened or not, it didn't matter because you were giving it your all in that moment, right? And you were hoping to have that breakthrough. So it's like any win or tiny success we had.
Talk about Titan. Titan in 15.
It meant a lot, right? But this is the thing. Like when you guys started going to the early majors and we were there at the same time.
14, yeah.
Yeah, this is why he's successful and I'm not. He found solutions. I couldn't find solutions. Like I didn't know what I needed to do to push us to the next level.
Yeah.
I think also something that we didn't talk, but something that is really important as well, is that Brazil had success before.
Oh,
that's
in
also,
1.6, sure, yeah.
But
History success.
It's still,
16, 19.
It's still like a mindset, the way you play, the culture. When you talk about the culture, for me, that's why I also like, now in France it went really down, but like for a long time, we had the same philosophy. So, of course, you knew how to play like Counter-Strike in a way. While in Brazil, of course, they had in 0.6 where they were good, and then it was tough until like Kaboom arrived.
2006. It was prime because they won SWC, so it was big, like major.
Tá precisando da grana e tá com umas skins sobrando? A Skin Place é uma plataforma onde você vende suas skins facilmente e pode receber seu dinheiro de várias maneiras. Pix, cartão de crédito, saldo no site e até criptomoedas. Tudo que você precisa fazer é logar com a sua Steam, selecionar as skins que quer vender. E é claro, colocar o código KRZZCS para ganhar um adicional de 2% na sua primeira venda. Aceitar a trade e voilá, pronto! Agora você só precisa esperar o tempo de proteção da troca acabar. Então, numa questão de minutos, sacar o seu saldo em uma das formas de pagamento disponíveis. A experiência na plataforma é muito satisfatória, rápida e com valores pagos nos seus itens sendo extremamente atrativos. Então, se você está precisando de um lugar confiável e prático, corre para Skin Place. O link tá na descrição do vídeo.
And then 2010 we were already playing. We went semifinals in WCG. We lost for Neil.
So you still have, something, when in the country when you played together and you had nothing, like it never happens anything like except the Renegades in 2019 where they did good, but before that nothing happened. So you had no idea, like just the philosophy to win or play with winners, For me that changed something, that when you play with players with existence, when I arrived with existence, with shocks, they won before. They know what to deal with.
Source, they won a lot. They're the biggest team, right, in Source. Yeah, Source.
Yeah, very games, exactly. When I arrived in very games, and same when people started to play with Fallen, like Coursera, Fer, and Taco, they were like, okay, now we know FNX, playing with FNX as well. Those guys won. They know how to... They know the recipe. They know. And that's something, for me, really different, that when you play with someone that already won, they know the success. It's small things, like the mindset, the like never been tired of working. You always hear the same stuff from people that won a lot. Like I'm sure, like when we go to practice room and you still see Fallen on me, like we are on the computer like late and we work on stuff that the other don't, etc. While when you see that and you're younger players, like it gives you something, it helps you, it drives you, and you're like ready to go with this guy until you die. That's something really important in my opinion.
True.
The second one, I hope you remember this one. You definitely will. Where's your what happened to the inflatable kangaroo?
Yeah, it got a hole in it at one of the events, and then we never got a new one.
Right.
Kangaroo.
You had this inflatable kangaroo that you'd pass on, and then people would sign it.
Yeah. Well, we needed a gimmick, right? Because we couldn't be good in the service, so we just thought, like, we'd make people love us in a different way.
But hey, it worked.
Yeah,
I remember it.
But you guys tried moving to United States at some point, right?
Yeah, and
but late maybe.
We were living in Vegas.
But I mean, you guys moved too late or what?
Oh, I don't know. I think it was also part of having to evolve the gameplay, right? When you get thrown into it and you haven't really had a chance to address, like, why were we successful in some of the games that we had won, right? We were just kind of in the constant of it, and I'm trying to work out how to lead against the best players in the world. I'm like, oh my God, like what? And then when you're not finding success and you're at the bottom of the scoreboard, I all just took it internal, right? So I I looked at myself as the problem. So I didn't get a chance to reflect. There also wasn't a network of people around me who knew like, okay, we need to take a step back and readdress the entire approach. I just looked at some of the games.
Nothing.
No, nothing like that, right?
And no reference. Like you were saying, you have to figure out by yourself. There's nowhere to look at. It's hard,
Yeah. So it was just a tough situation. But I think in the end, like, I've watched more tape of Counter-Strike being an analyst and a commentator than I did as a player. Right? Obviously, I was watching all the games and part of the games, but now like getting to look at it, I was like, man, I wish I just had like 1/5 of
this knowledge you have now
to take back then. And there's a chance.
I think about that now. Even us, like I will win for 3 years straight, mate. It will be so easy. But the knowledge now, 5 years ago,
I knew what I knew, right?
It's so crazy.
But yeah, it was a weird time. But I'm glad that some of the boys went on and had some success, like Justin and stuff. And but that's why I think Azza being with the team now, the FlyQuest guys,
they got better instantly. Exactly. I saw it.
Yeah.
Like I will be honest. Whenever he stepped behind them, I saw the difference instantly. Of course, it's not there yet. But I saw it like in the major install ladder and the event before they did. I saw that whenever you have someone, and mostly, as I said, on the country that's been a bit successful, he haven't been like is in this table, he hasn't been successful. But in Australia, he's been super successful for like the rest. So for me, it's really important that a player like that takes over and helps those youngsters too. Because they will listen to him.
No, they have the reference, right? JKS is there. He knows this stuff.
Yes, exactly.
He played in big teams.
Yeah. He helps.
It's a little privilege that if you're best in Australia, you have more opportunities, right?
Well, you have the opportunities that you can get from Australia, right? Which is...
From what year they started to pay the qualifier, like this thing with qualifiers, you go to like EPL or some other like events?
That's a good question. I know like back in the early days, like 1.6 days, like WCGs or ESWCs and stuff, people had to pay for a license to run like local LAN events, right? And then when we moved into CSGO, we went to that MSI Beat It event, and then we went to try and qualify for DreamHack Winter, the first one. We played the BOOC in the main LAN hall. And then from there, once we had those first couple of majors, I think that's when Australia started to get the invite slot.
Like paying for hotels, for travels.
But that's probably not
maybe 16, 17.
Yeah, I was going to say probably not until
after
about
15,
then.
16.
Yeah.
From that point, basically, if you're best in Australia, you can always go on the permanent basis, like to Europe to practice with the best teams. One time lesson, second time lesson. Then you can get so much experience, so much knowledge, and build everything, right? I think it's kind of, from my point of view, it will be this kind of engine, like motivator, why you should do this.
I agree, but I think that if you don't have a player that, when us, of course, it's easy for us because we have the knowledge of CS and we've been there and we play at the top for a long time and you coach at the top for a long time. But when you don't have this knowledge, because you never wanna, it's, if you watch a demo with someone that doesn't know your knowledge, you will see different stuff than he sees. He sees the basics. So if he doesn't know, it's tough to learn it by yourself. Like, watching a demo.
What really matters, right?
So many different, like I see a move there. Me, I see that what build there, like what they made before to do the rotation. And, like when people just watch, they see just, he did amazing headshot and this pick is nice or this move is nice, And I think that's the knowledge, even though you are, it's nice for Australia to have this privilege, and mostly if you are the best in Australia, because it means you invited a lot of events.
Yeah.
I mean, VRS now is a bit different, but before. But if you don't have the knowledge, it's tough if no one helps you with the knowledge. Like it's, you need that.
Where to focus, right? What to look at.
What to do, what to really do. Like when you look at, when I hear, for example, in Vitality in other games, the way they do stuff, the way they do stuff before the game, I'm like, what the hell? Like people need to teach them. Like they have no idea because the game is 6 years old. Our is 25. So.
I suggest you make Australia great again. You have the knowledge now to go back and teach the kids.
But
True.
I got a couple more years of this, but then after that, we'll give it a go. We'll give it a go.
So imagine you have Sky Edge basically in Melbourne, and you have Sky Edge in I don't know, like Germany somewhere. Like it doesn't matter. Like you can learn everything.
Now,
yeah, true.
So nowadays also you can hire a good performance coach. You can hire a good coach, and like day by day, like having this privilege to constantly going to the
try
best
yourself out every time, right?
Yes, best lands. You always on best lands constantly. I think like some teams from Europe cannot get to these lands because competitive level is
too high,
they're far ahead in this.
Yeah, I think like you're bang on. It's changed with VRS, right? Because of the amount of spots and the way it's invited. But there was like a good patch of time where what you're talking about is
the last 6-7 years before VRS.
But that's what they did.
Yeah,
way. Like they were living in a small house in I don't remember where.
Yeah, so what happened
in the
to
US?
us? Yeah, as soon as we went to that 2 tournaments in the US, one of them we played Cloud9. Remember?
Yeah, it was
we had a big Mirage game.
Yeah,
everyone was like, "Oh, those guys can play from Brazil." And then we went to another tournament, and then they invited us to play the major qualifier in Poland, actually close by here.
Yeah.
And then as soon as we played that tournament, we went back to Brazil. There was nothing to do anymore. We're like, okay, it's over. That's out. We could play 2 tournaments. We used all the money.
Valorant.
We used money from students and money from our pockets to go for US. And now it's over. Now Kabum didn't want to really super help. It was Kabum at the time. But they didn't think that investing all those dollars for us to travel would mean anything. And then ESA opened up the NA League.
Yes.
And then that's when we went all in. We're like, it doesn't matter. We're going to fight on the internet. We're going to tell people we need a spot. And then we're in community, like we need the spot, need the spot, need the spot. And then they gave us a spot. If you guys can be here like in 2 days, you can play. Basically. And that's when we're like, it doesn't matter. We're leaving everything behind and we're going.
But that's a good story.
It's a sick story.
Like with like back then, Flusha giving his cash prize to help you guys after Pantamera, I will remember because I played that even. And living like, I know, like with LG, the house you were living in was not like crazy house back then. You were sleeping together, but fuck it, we're here.
I share a bed with her.
Yeah, we don't have to do.
For real?
Yeah,
one time I was hugging him at night, and he was like, "Oh, fine." I was like, "Sorry, but I was sleeping." You know?
But keep going, keep going.
But you were like just giving your hearts just to be the best, and that's also like the big stories of back then. Because now, a young player, he's a faced player, playing so good, arrive in a tier 2, tier 1 team, winning 5K a month minimum. Travel like for free everywhere. Like
he gets a different idea of what it is, right?
He didn't know how hard it was for us to get to small lands, sleep under a table.
That's why we tell all the time.
Yes, I remind them. I said, guys, your life is fucking easy. My life is easy as well. No, but I went through hard shit before. You need to tell the youngsters that now they're really lucky.